Nobody likes to be judged. We want to observe. We say we are observer, but often we end up in judging people or judging incident or judging uh, any situation that happens, surrounding us. We often say that we get insights, but what is insight and how observation and judgment are related to insights? We'll try to find that out today. Welcome to another video of your personal coach. I am Debopom Sanyal with you. So, the first of all, let's see what judgment is. Whenever you are in a situation where you are meeting with people, or you are experiencing something, or you are trying to do some research, or you are trying to sell something, or you are interacting with customers, or whatever the situation may be, when you are trying to put your assumptions, beliefs, or opinion onto something that you have just seen, is what leads to judgment, right? Now let's try to understand these two concepts, observation and judgment, very clearly. So when we see things for what it is, right? So we are experiencing what that are visible, or you can hear it, or you can see it, or you can experience it, right? Those are all the what's of the situation, whether a people or customer or any incident, right? If you only see those what for what it is, that is called observation. So, for example, I meet with a person and that person was talking very loud, and I say, this person is loud, right? That's it. That's an observation. He was speaking loud, talking loud, right? So that's an observation. The moment I put my assumptions or my belief or my opinion to that observation, it becomes judgment. How? That person is rude because he was, talking loud. So he's the rude. I just created a judgment. It's a very static thing. The moment you put your assumption, your belief, you go into that confirmation bias, because now you have made a decision, you have made a confirmation that, okay, this person is rude, and you would try and find out evidences to support your confirmation, your judgment that you have just made. If you have just stick to the observation that what that person talks loud, that's it, it have remained an observation. Observation is dynamic. The next time you meet that person, he probably would be smiling. The next time you would meet that person or see that person again somewhere, he might be laughing, or having a great time with friends, having fun. None of these contribute or associate to rudeness. However, because the first time you made a judgment, next time you would say, this person laughs a lot, smiles a lot, he doesn't even respect anyone's privacy, he's rude. This person is partying with friends, don't know what he has left at home, he is rude. We don't know that person, or maybe not that well, even if we know, but we are just making assumptions after assumptions because we are in that judgment mode. And it's not something very uncommon, it's very common for us as a human. This is the instinct. This is a very basic instinct among us, that whenever we see something, experience something, we put our assumptions. We create our perception and we try to put those perception or assumptions behind it. And that makes things very complicated because we never get to understand the things like what it is. And it's a terrible thing to do when you are in space of, whether in corporate, or you're a manager, you're a leader, or you're even at your friends setting, family settings. It's a very terrible thing to have, the sense of judging people, because you never understand the thing. Now this observation and judgment both do not mean insight. What is insight, by the way? What do you think is an insight? We often say that I have an insight about that person, I have an insight about that customer, I have insight about that the entire experience. What is insight, by the way? Insight is something where you understand why people are doing what they're doing. Right? So when I met that person X, I observed that he was talking loud. That was an observation. That was not an insight because I did not know why did he talk loud. There could be multiple reasons. He might be, that's maybe his nature. Maybe he was, anxious about something. He was just, that's why he spoke loud. Maybe he was worried about and he was nervous. It could be, there could be multiple reasons behind his behavior, right? Because we didn't know the reason behind that behavior, that observation, we didn't have an insight. So, in order to have insight, we need to know why something or someone has done, right? So, if customer is behaving in such a way, that's an observation. Customer is buying this product less. That's an observation. That's not an insight. But when we know why customer is not buying that thing, that is an insight. Now, what comes between observation and insight? It feels like quite a simple road, isn't it? I mean, we know, we just, first of all, it's very hard to notice or observe, right? Because we tend to get, distracted by so many things, so we don't really observe the important things. So the first hard step is to observe what, to find out the what's. Now once you have found out, you might think, okay, now I have found out what it is, now it might be easier for me to go in depth and find out the whys. Easier said than done. Reason being, the third component that we have been talking about, it's the judgment. Because the moment you try to find out the why, your judgment comes into the picture. You try to put assumptions behind this behavior. So often observation leads to judgment, not the insight. So the natural course of an observation is judgment. However, if we can turn that around, we can turn an observation into an insight which is useful and effective. That is something that we want, right? So the first thing that you need to do when you're observing something, the moment you are trying to put some assumptions, beliefs, or opinion about that, move it away. Talk to yourself, say, hey, all right. Instead, even sometimes I would tell you what happens. The moment I observe something and I start judging, and then I say, hey, why I'm judging? And then I start judging myself, right? That why I am judging? I should not be judging it. And then you are again on the wrong path because you are again missing out the observation, right? So what we need to do is, the moment you kind of get get a feeling that okay, you are moving into the zone of judgment, stop there, talk to yourself, okay, this person did this and these are all my beliefs which are normal, so let's try to break that opinion and try to see exactly why this person is doing, or why the customer is behaving in such a way, or why this thing happened. And when you keep pushing for that why, slowly and slowly you get into the insight. It's not very easy to get insight. You might get partial insights first, and then slowly you can, just like a scientific experiment, right? I mean, scientists run an experiment, they get a results. Is that an insight? Maybe, maybe not, because we don't know. They might have found something, and then they also found so many other things which was not assumed when they started the experiment. That was not part of that hypothesis, right? So they go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? Cancel few things and they say, okay, these are the things that's not possible. That is all. These are also partial insights, and until they reach that insight which they're looking for, the why. So when, and these are all partial insights. These partial insights are treasures, by the way. These are not partial in any nature. These are also very deep insights. Only thing is, probably these are partial because these are associated with the insight that you are looking for. That by no means these are less than the insight that you are looking for. These are not less in any manner. These are all the the small building blocks of your insights. These are all byproducts, maybe, but nevertheless, right? So, moment you are in a setting where when you are dealing with people, when you are dealing with incidents, a normal life, right? Stop judging yourself, stop judging others, stop judging anything and everything. Stop putting your opinion on everything. That doesn't mean you should not have opinion. That does not mean you should not have assumptions. That does not mean you should not have beliefs. All are things important, and all these things are necessary for our life. For example, shall I have an opinion on something? Yeah, fine, I can have it. But if I make that opinion as my belief, then it's a problem because I'm not validating my opinion. You can have a hypothesis. Yes, you can have opinion, you can have assumptions, you can have belief, but belief is something else. I will come to belief later. You can have assumptions, you can have opinion, then ensure to go for the test whether your hypothesis is correct or not. Based on that hypothesis, you create your belief. For example, I say Android phones are bad, just my assumption. Android phones are bad, right? Now, if I create that my belief, I would never would go and try and use an Android phone and say Android phones are bad all the time. Is that true? Maybe not. Maybe yes, we don't know, right? So there are Android phones which are good. There are Android phones which are not good, right? So what I would do, I would have that assumption. I would go and try Android phones, use them, or ask people who use them, and then based on that, I will create a belief. Okay, Android phones sometimes are good, sometimes are not good, right? But that belief is not, it's not like it cannot change, because you would continue to have assumptions regarding it. You would continue to do hypotheses. You would continue to get partial insights, and those partial insights will create your beliefs, will modify your beliefs, will enhance your beliefs. And that's how you get free from judgment. So the first thing that you should do, never judge yourself for having assumptions. Now, having assumptions, having opinion is a very human thing. It's a very natural thing. But if you do not put your hypothesis into test, that's not a wise thing to do. So you need to put your hypothesis into test, get that validated, and get those partial insights, if not the insight, right? Through observation, know the whys, and then create your belief. Keep building your belief, keep improving your belief. Your belief system does work, right? If my belief system, I had a friend who had a belief that dogs are always aggressive, because in childhood one dog attacked him, so he had this belief that dogs are aggressive in nature. He was scared of dogs. But all dogs are aggressive? No, there are dogs which are not aggressive, right? But unless he went and put into himself, put the hypothesis into test, so he came across a dog, he was scared and all that, but that dog was very sweet, and he jumped over him, and now he has a dog, he has a pet, because his belief changed according to the experiment, according to the partial insights or insight that he got. That, okay, I cannot judge an entire animal, right, based on one incident. So put your non-judgmental mind every time you are meeting with people, or you are having interviews, or you are reading something, whenever, every time, and then validate your thoughts. I hope that helps. And please share your messages, please share your insights with us, and to everyone, so that we can help each other in our community. Thank you very much for listening to me today, and I will see you soon.